guy, aka Trigger Ranking. So basically, my last live flipped out, so I don't know what happened. We were actually watching the Petty Show. Y'all, when y'all tap in, tell me where y'all coming from, city, state, Providence, or country. Basically, yeah, let's get it. Let's get it. We're gonna finish off this um the sauce. No, the sauce, my bad. The sauce. We're gonna finish this off and then we're gonna try to find something else to watch. So hey, hold on, I gotta hit the bumper. I gotta hit that bumper.
Been stuck. Anyhow, DL Hughley's not happy about Trump federalizing the police in D.C. because, according to DL, Trump's repeated attacks on black-led cities like D.C. is no accident. It's the same black boogeyman playbook used for decades to spread fear and distract from the truth, like Epstein.
Did you notice that during Trump's press conference, even the graph he used talking about crime was demonstrative that crime is down? D.C. has had a precipitous drop in crime rates, in murders and violent crimes. As a matter of fact, the cities he mentioned have all two things in common. One, they're led by black mayors, and two, they're experiencing unprecedented drops in crime. And he knows it. But he also knows, no one's going to pay attention to that, he also knows that all you have to do is conjure up the specter of the black and the American population will just automatically go along with it. LA had a 60-year low in murders. What Baltimore, the mayor of Baltimore is doing is amazing and has caused precipitous drops. Chicago, the mayor, they're black. And he knows that all you have to do is conjure up the specter of the black boogeyman and it'll be okay. It'll get you off the fact that the economy is tanking, that immigration is in tatters, that the Epstein files haven't been released. So all you have to do is either specifically...
Do y'all agree with this? Yes or no? Yay or nay? Just say something in the comments, I guess.
Say or infer black, and people will buy it. DC's not even in the top 25 in crime. Most of the states, if you look at the top 10, all but two of those cities are the states Trump won. But he didn't want to talk about that. And if you're worried about crime, if that's what you worry about, then there would be a whole lot of other places you start.
I don't know what that
Memphis is one of the only cities in America that hasn't had a drop in crime. It's had an increase. But that's in the state you won. That's in the state he won, so he's not going to worry about that. All you have to do in this country is conjure up the specter of crime and connect it to black people, and America will buy it. So whenever you're in trouble, your economic policy is tanking, your immigration policy is off the rails, and people are wondering why your administration seems to be shielding the news of people connected with pedophile. You know, if you want to talk about
that's crazy. I don't even need a job. I own my own house, and you know what I'm saying. I'm a producer. I do music, so I be working, but not like how you think I'm working.
And always bet against black.
And I'm a digital artist.
We got the whole force out this bad boy. They cool.
Damn, look at all the police and shit.
Everywhere.
They hit the streets of DC like they had the National Guard out there. This shit crazy.
I've been up all night. Sleep regression is hard.
Oh no, you sleep through a rave.
His dad and I made a counteroffer on a home.
We were up all night plotting with our agent. I know, it's exciting.
Hold on, bro, hold on. I got something for you, big dog.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Congratulations.
See, now, that right
Plays
there doesn't make
yourself,
any
big
kind of
dog.
sense. What do you need all of those police for?
You played yourself, dog. You look like a clown in this live stream.
Anyhow, I'd be interested to see if all of those police were also dispersed to the gentrified areas of D.C. I mean, really, do you also have 40 cops standing around on the street watching a whole bunch of preppy white guys
Call your little partners and them, man. I'm coming to live stream too and talk shit.
In blue shirts and khakis with sandals, that's what I want to see. Because if you're gonna police DC, don't just police the chocolate parts. So after DL Hughley said what he said, a whole lot of people weighed in the comments. And one person said, Trump doesn't want to solve the problem of crime. He only wants to create a sound clip to post besides the down statistics, spin it in a few months, and take credit for the crime being down in DC. Again, rewriting black history. So let us not forget that these black mayors had already reduced crime to 30-year lows. And then somebody else said he's deflecting, trying to get black people hyped up since he couldn't rattle us any other way. You're right. His base will hear black people, and the next thing you know, they'll forget about all the chaos he has going on. And then, last but not least, somebody else came through and said, yet another distraction from the Epstein files. He's right about crime.
Hey, man, y'all run them goddamn lights up, my nigga. Y'all, it's like 20 folks in here, man. Y'all run the lights up, my nigga. Like,
Corey DC is a 34-count felon living in the White House. There are unlimited numbers of RS, PDF files, and actual assaulters, including himself, thieves, etc., in his administration. Yo, do me a favor and let me know down below. Do you think DL Hughley is right when he says that Trump isn't doing anything more than using the black boogeyman playbook? And last but not least, before I go, let me ask...
all right, y'all, check it out. That was the sauce. We're about to slide to another video. Give me a second. We got, oh yeah, I'm gonna do the Petty Show shit again. Hold on, Petty Show. I'm gonna do the last one that just, the Chris Tucker shit. So my last line,
he was on his private plane, and you could tell that it was a private plane because they called it, what was it, Lolita Express? Oh yeah, it was a private plane, yes, oh yes.
And the Chris Tucker that we got now is Epstein Island.
So this is the Petty Show. This is the one I was doing earlier. The line kept messing up. But Cat Williams revealed why Chris Tucker is on Epstein Island list.
Tucker, not Smokey. Oh, Lord.
When Bill Clinton organized a week-long tour of Africa in 2002, Jeff gave him a ride in his personal 727. And took actors Kevin Spacey and Chris Tucker along for the trip.
Kevin Spacey got a weird case. Why was he around that shit, dog?
Chris Tucker just got dragged back into the Epstein scandal after new photos resurfaced of Chris with Epstein's former housekeeper. And now Cat Williams is saying, I told you so. If you remember, Cat called out Chris last year during his Club Shay appearance. And he alleged that Chris traveled
Y'all check out the Petty Show.
to Epstein's Island, where hundreds of girls were victimized by Epstein and his powerful friends. Meanwhile, new court documents were released to the public, identifying Epstein's associates. Private jet, Lolita Express. And among the names mentioned in these documents, there are many Hollywood actors, singers, comedians, politicians, lawyers, and other high-profile figures. And yes, Chris Tucker's name was on the list. Now, according to Cat Williams, the Chris Tucker who traveled with Epstein on his private jet is not the same man who played Smokey Friday. Basically, Cat is saying that Chris sold his soul the moment he started hanging out with people like Epstein and Bill Clinton. And now more details are surfacing about Chris's bizarre connection to Epstein. So what's the real truth about Chris Tucker's relationship to Epstein? Was he completely clueless about what Epstein was doing on that private plane? Or is he another celebrity who's hiding their true face from the public?
Wait a minute. You didn't never go to that island, did you? No. I don't know where that thing is.
So
But he didn't go to the island.
Out of nowhere, a photo has
Do y'all think that Chris Tucker went to the Epstein Island with Bill Clinton?
up all over social media, showing Chris Tucker standing next to a man named Jojo Fontanilla. Now, if that name doesn't ring a bell, Jojo isn't a celebrity. He used to work for Jeffrey Epstein as part of his household staff.
Birds aren't real. I mean, they do got birds that's like part of like some government shit, allegedly. I mean, shit, I don't know. A rapper, do I rap? I'm a producer and a rapper. Oh yeah, they be spy. Yeah, I know about that. I know about that. Spy birds. I know exactly about that shit. I know about. They got mosquitoes that do the same thing. They're like miniatures. You know what I'm saying? That's how they go and get intel when it comes to like shit like war and all that like that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my favorite rapper. My favorite rapper have to be Tupac. Um, I say top three: Tupac. I gotta say Kendrick Lamar, and then I gotta say Andre 3000. That's my top three. Only reason I say Kendrick over 3000 because 3000 basically he just putting out like flute music now and stuff like that. He ain't really rapping like that. The last thing he really rapped on, if I'm not mistaken, is scientists and engineers. It's a killer Mike song. Yeah. All right.
Sure isn't brand new, but you'd think it was the way it's blowing up right now. And from what's been dug up, it looks like it originally came from an old Facebook album tied to the Fontanilla family. Back in 2019, people quietly noticed he had pictures with a lot of big names: Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew, Hillary Swank, Senator John Kerry, and yes, Chris Tucker. And now in 2025, with the Epstein scandal blowing up again, that photo is...
Basically, he said he wasn't at the island, but he's with the dude that does everything at the house on the island. So that's why so you wasn't at the island, but we got a picture of you with his housekeeping, the main dude in the
suddenly everywhere. And people are pointing out that JoJo wasn't just some random staff member, but someone who would have been around Epstein's private spaces. And maybe people wouldn't be making such a big deal out of this picture if Cat Williams didn't say what he said in that Club Shay episode last year. If you remember, Cat directly called out Chris over his connection to Epstein and implied that Chris is not who he used to be back in the 90s.
Now is Epstein Island. Chris Tucker, oh, not Smokey. Oh, Lord. Whew. If I didn't know no better, I'd tell you he's the greatest. I don't care what you say.
And then Kat also brought up Chris's friendship with Michael Jackson, and it sounded like he was hinting there was something off about this relationship.
Chris was allowed to make the decision. At the time that this is happening, Cat Williams is known for smoking weed. Willie Nelson is known for smoking weed. Right. Snoop's known for smoking weed, but none of us is really known except Willie. And I'm saying, Chris Tucker didn't want to be the poster child for smoking weed. He don't smoke weed like that. Right. He in the church. He Michael Jackson's best friend. Christmas. Michael Jackson called him Christmas. You ever met a man that gave you a little nickname like that? No. Me neither. Must be the greatest.
Now, what's also interesting is that Kat's interview on Club Shay Shay came out on January 3rd, the same day hundreds of pages of unsealed documents from a...
That shit came, so the Club Shay Shay, the famous episode with Cat Williams on there, that shit came out January 3rd, 2024. It was epic, bro. Niggas was ducking and hiding, and it was crazy, bro. It was like the whole industry was shook, bro, when he got on Club Shay Shay. Like, he did some damage last year. And what's crazy is he talked about Diddy, TD Jakes, all of them. He talked about all of them folks. And Diddy ended up getting locked up. So, and that happened, the interview was January 3rd, the first of the year.
Lawsuit connected to Epstein were released to the public. The documents were unsealed as part of a defamation lawsuit filed by Epstein's late victim, Virginia Giuffre, against his accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell. In June 2022, Maxwell was sentenced to 20 years in prison. And as for Epstein, he was arrested in July 2019 on federal charges of trafficking. But as you all know, he died in his jail cell on August 10th, 2019. under very sketchy circumstances.
They say the man killed himself. Like he just ended up dead in that bit. Like that's kind of scary, bro. Like you in prison and then you mysteriously die, and you a billionaire. That's some scary shit, bro. They gonna make a movie about this shit.
Medical examiner ruled that Epstein took his own life by hanging. However, it's safe to say most people never bought that story. Many believe that Epstein was silenced by his powerful associates, and this theory gained even more traction after
the shit's so sick you can't even make a movie about it, bro. Like it'll be sick, bro.
it was revealed that both Epstein and Maxwell had links to intelligence and were essentially running a blackmail operation against U.S. politicians and other high-profile figures. So was Chris Tucker one of these high-profile figures? How did he even get involved in this Epstein mess? Well, it all goes back to 2009 when VH1 aired a show about famous private planes, and they mentioned Chris, Kevin Spacey, and Bill Clinton flying for a trip to Africa on Epstein's jet, later named the Lolita Express. Now, as you might know,
A Boeing 727 with, of course, an in-flight trading room.
He has a Boeing 727. I'm just wondering now, what do you need a commercial-sized airliner for?
Believe us, it comes in handy when you've got powerful friends to fly around. When Bill Clinton organized a week-long tour of Africa in 2002, Jeff gave him a ride in his personal 727. He took actors Kevin Spacey and Chris Tucker along for the trip.
Now, for former President Clinton, it was a chance to investigate problems of AIDS in Africa, and for Epstein, it was a chance to hang out with some of his big shot friends.
both Kevin Spacey and Bill Clinton have faced allegations of SA and inappropriate conduct. In October 2017, actor Anthony Rapp alleged that Kevin Spacey made advances toward him when Rapp was 14 and Spacey was 26. After Rapp filed a lawsuit against Spacey in September 2020, 15 other individuals came forward alleging similar incidents. But here's the most sinister part. 3 out of 4 accusers who filed lawsuits against Kevin Spacey have died. And they all died within a span of just 1 year. One was hit by a car, one supposedly took his own life, and the third one passed from unknown reasons. Now, as for Bill Clinton, the story is just as sinister, and he's been publicly accused of SA by several women. On top of that, both he and his wife Hillary were at the center of a conspiracy theory connecting them to a kidnapping case that took place after the 2010 Haiti earthquake. In February 2010, 10 Americans were arrested in Haiti while trying to take 33 Haitian children out of the country, and they were later charged with kidnapping and criminal association. Now, the reason the Clintons were connected to this case is because on February 5th, 2010, Bill Clinton, who was appointed by the United Nations as relief coordinator for the Haiti earthquake, personally appealed for an end to the kidnapping case. Clinton argued it was necessary to resolve the case quickly to ease tensions between Haiti and the United States in the relief effort. After this, 8 of the 10 of those arrested for kidnapping were released by a Haitian judge and immediately flown back to Miami on a U.S. Air Force transport plane. Now circling back to Chris Tucker, when they recently asked him about
Success starts when the right people surround you. They're the partners who share your dreams and the experts who know.
Back to Chris Tucker, when they recently asked him about his connection to Epstein, he admitted he traveled on Epstein's private plane with Bill Clinton and Kevin Spacey for a humanitarian trip to Africa. However, he claimed he didn't know at the time who Epstein was or anything about his criminal activities.
You knew Jeffrey Epstein, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. We flew Bill Clinton and a lot of different. That was a humanitarian trip to Africa, and I met him on that trip because it was his plane. I didn't know what plane he was getting on, but it was a whole bunch of dignitary people. He was with a delegation, and I met him, and you don't know people what they do in their private lives, so. Yeah.
And when Chris was asked if he ever flew to Epstein's private island, he immediately shut it down and laughed off the question.
But can't tell me this, Chris. He was on this private plane, and you could tell that it was a private plane because they called it, Lolita Express?
Oh yeah, it was a private plane. Yes. Oh yes.
But wait a minute. You didn't never go to that island, did you?
No. I don't know where that thing is.
But see, a lot of people felt there was something fishy about this. Because why would Chris laugh so hard at the question about... At the time of this interview, Epstein had already been found guilty. So why did Chris think it was appropriate to laugh about this question? Knowing what happened to hundreds of young victims on that island? Now, according to page 6, that humanitarian trip took place in 2002, and Chris, Bill Clinton, and Kevin Spacey spent a week touring AIDS project sites in South Africa on Epstein's plane for the Clinton Foundation. But here's another sketchy part. Another person who was on the plane with them was Chante Davies, an air hostess who worked on Epstein's plane and who later appeared in the TV documentary Surviving Jeffrey Epstein, where she described a horrifying incident when she was essayed by Epstein. Later on, Davies talked to The Sun about flying with Chris, Clinton, and Kevin Spacey on that humanitarian trip to Africa, and The Sun obtained photos of Clinton with Chante, as well as photos of Chris, all taken during the trip. Chante told The Sun, "It's clear that Epstein was using this private jet and his wealth to get close to rich and powerful people." Looking back at these images now, it raises...
Especially it's like, nigga, you was out that big. You was out that big. Like...
Stop the count. No voice.
A lot of questions about why Bill Clinton was using the plane and what perhaps Jeffrey may have been trying to accomplish by having him around. Now, to be clear, Chris Tucker hasn't been accused of any wrongdoing. However, his connection to Epstein definitely raises concerns about how all these celebs were drawn into Epstein's circle at the same time he was committing horrific crimes against young girls and women. And yet, we're supposed to believe none of them had any clue what he was doing. Now, as for...
I'm gonna stop this right here. All of this is alleged, bro. Like I don't know Chris Tucker, you know what I'm saying? I think he's an Atlanta native, but at the end of the day, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? I can't judge him. I ain't God. I don't know nothing about this man. So all this right here is pure speculation. That's what they saying. We just reacting to the video. I don't got nothing against Chris Tucker.
They seem to be divided on this whole topic of Chris and Epstein. Some believe Chris was scared to speak up about what he witnessed while hanging out with Epstein, while others are giving him the side eye and speculating he didn't just witness something horrific, but took part in it. One fan said, "Chris Tucker is known to be a really good, God-fearing person, and he probably witnessed something on that island that shook him to his core, and he decided right then and there he was done with Hollywood." However, another fan pointed out that Michael Jackson's name was also mentioned in those new Epstein documents and wrote, "There had to be boys there too. I can't think of any other reason Michael Jackson would have shown up." And now it has me looking at Chris Tucker funny because they were such great friends. Chris's marriage ended abruptly, and we've never seen him in a serious relationship with a woman since. Makes you wonder about his real proclivities. But here's where it gets even crazier. One fan claimed that Chris had allegations about him going back to the early 90s, when he used to party with Diddy. In fact, one fact claimed that Chris was hooking up with girls below the age at Diddy parties, as far back as Mace and Diddy's Feel So Good video, where Chris made a cameo. This person wrote, "I met them when I was 16 filming, and was invited to a hotel party with the rappers by a member of their entourage. I think that's why Mace dipped out." Now we know there's a lot of overlap between Diddy and Epstein's cases, and they've both been accused of running a blackmail operation on behalf of some even more powerful people. So the question is, did Epstein just use Chris as a cover? Epstein was a pro manipulator, and he knew that if he socialized with anyone famous, he could create a cover for himself. On the other hand, you do not meet someone like Epstein in public for your first meeting and just fly on his private jet. You meet people like Epstein in the shadows for the first time, and you're tested to see if you can be trusted. And then there's also that picture of Chris with Epstein's housekeeper, which raises even more questions. If Chris only flew with Epstein that one time on a humanitarian mission, why was he posing for photos with his housekeeper? There are many pieces to this puzzle that not be laughed off the way Chris did in that interview. So is Cat Williams trying to tell us something about Chris? Is everything we thought we knew about Chris Tucker a lie?
Same old phone? Nah. Upgrade to the new Galaxy Z Fold 7.
Damn.
Stuff. It's human sacrifice. Yeah, I mean, we do that. Kinda, we do. Yeah. The human sacrifice aspect is alive and well.
I said the human sacrifice.
The cult of Baal. B-A-L. My family masqueraded themselves as Jewish publicly, but behind closed doors, at Passover dinners, when I was drunk, would admit, we are Satanists.
This is Epstein's bride. No, he was never married, but he did have a bronze statue of a bride suspended by a rope from the ceiling. And here she is, looking like she's trying to escape.
Hanging statue of a young bride, a book about a PDF file, and wall worship symbols. Mel Gibson is warning that all these objects found inside Jeffrey Epstein's house are part of something much darker.
We on the petty show, y'all. This shit like.
According to Mel, Epstein was part of the elite who worshiped the ancient god Baal. And guess what? A member of Epstein's family just came forward and confirmed her family has practiced this ancient religion for hundreds of years.
They told me that we belonged to the cult of Baal. B-A-L.
Hey, I ain't gonna do this for y'all. I'm gonna hold off on that one. That's a little too deep for y'all. We're gonna go scan this outside and see what they're talking about. They might have something new. I'm sure they got an older one or something. I'm putting should now. Hold on. Should now. Yup. Can't stay up. Hold on. Hold line, Bridget. Hold line. It's y'all with y'all among us out here. Among us. Oh yeah, that's the one I wanted to hear right here.
Well. Good night's just been on Pierre's
No, that's not it. That's not it.
Haven't heard it, you should listen to it. Because it's everything we've been saying about this for about 12 years. And now, it's real dangerous for Suge. It's real dangerous for Suge Knight right now. Reggie Wright Sr. used to run the Twin Towers Correctional Facility for the sheriffs. So he has a lot of ties into the prison complex, the prison industrial complex.
I thought we'll go to this one.
Welcome back to Scandalous Los Angeles TV, where we expose the exposers. Every now and then, Marion Knight drops not one, but a flurry of interviews. And lately he's been on a roll. For the past couple of days, the streets and the internet have been buzzing after CS2 back, and Reggie Wright Jr. went online claiming Simon had AIDS. Well, Simon wasn't about to let that one slide. This time, he phoned into the Art of Dialogue podcast with a mission to shut those rumors down once and for all. Not only did he firmly deny the health rumors, but he also had some pointed, unfiltered words for his longtime friend turned rival, Reggie Wright Jr.
Yeah. These must be the photos you talking about. You wanted me to find from the night you and Papa shot at Vegas. Yeah, I see them. Yeah, they saying these photos came out from years ago. They new photos, but yeah. I never seen these photos. Yeah, I see blood on the seats.
I see him.
I see a Diet Coke. Who Diet Coke is that?
Listen, paying $14.99
inside
a
the
month
car
for
they got
food
shot up.
and $9.99 a month for a music app, and
I'm actually looking at it.
You know, that's been my big ass, you know what I'm saying? Diabetic and everything else. I was trying to get a six-pack, I didn't have it then. You know, I had to go to prison to find a six-pack.
Speaking of a six-pack, I gotta ask you, what's this rumor going around saying that you got AIDS? They saying you got health issues?
Okay, well look, first of all, let's put it to the point. They can look at my whole medical file. Attorney has it. And if I have a sexual disease or AIDS or anything else, what they trying to say, let's go straight to the point. Anytime you get shot, anytime you got to have a surgery, anytime you get hurt, there are checks that says you got AIDS. When you're in prison, they give you AIDS test. They can open my whole file up and see I don't have a disease. The second thing is that people should really watch what they say. Now, you know, ain't nothing to be proud of, but I used to always say, in a horse I can't break, I ride one to, and a bitch I can't take. It's going for a little while or forever.
I think it's like a bitch I can't take.
9 out of 10, the one I threw away, you married.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
So if you married her and you do what you're supposed to be doing every day, every night, if I did have AIDS, you sucking all the AIDS out of her. But at the same time,
damn shit,
I don't have it. Anytime you want to have a test or whatever, I don't got nothing to prove, I definitely don't have it. Anyways, I used to weigh 350. Right now, I weigh 305. My choice. For a mile and a half a day, do my dips, do my pull-ups. You don't Photoshop my shit, I know I look good. I come on my shirt. You know what I mean?
I come out my shirt.
I've been in prison.
That's funny.
Almost 11 years, 2 months away, right? When Corona came, everybody got
that nigga said niggas was dying in that bitch.
I never got vaccinated, right? So the people next door to me died from Corona. A couple cells over died from Corona. People was falling, right? And they were getting vaccinated. Shit, I didn't get none of that, right? I don't think I caught it. If I did catch it, my immune system was so strong, I never got no symptoms, right? Yeah, you got people who went to jail or a little camp or something, and they get Corona, right? And they was vaccinated. So they say. Corona kicked into the ass. I would think they might have AIDS. Because once they got Corona, they was in a coma, and they died, lungs messed up, or kidneys, whatever the hell. Hands can't stretch out, they call them locks of claws. Their feet don't stretch out, right? Ain't nothing to be laughing at because it's not a joke.
And Simon's absolutely.
Hey, bro, hold on, bro. It doesn't be laughing.
Right. The spot.
Can't stretch out, you call them locks of claws. Their feet don't stretch out, right? Ain't nothing to be laughing at because it's not a joke.
And Simon's absolutely right. The spot Reggie's in is nothing to laugh or joke about. I mean, sure, I might get online and toss around playful nicknames, crack a joke here and there. But there's a line. I'm not going to get on here and talk about someone's physical condition. Because the truth is, You never know if one day God might hand you the exact same burden.
Thing. You pick it at
That's
somebody
pride
else.
and arrogance.
That's for real.
The kind of narcissism I've been talking about when it comes to Reggie. You're sitting in your own storm, yet you're still out here talking about who's got AIDS, who's got herpes, who won't make it out of jail, who's got diabetes, and who's going to die behind bars. What makes you feel so comfortable saying that? As if the Lord can't turn around and hand the same thing to you.
And they got a big old hole in their throat, like they did one of those cigarette commercials. You know what they be talking about? Don't smoke cigarettes, if you end up like this, and all the smoke in the hole in their throat. Because you look at that person, they got a big hole in their throat, right? So, people who throw stones, bleach is bury themselves. Because it's a sad situation that if we can always try to look at another person, the only way you can make it is trying to talk bad to somebody else. That's a sad life.
And that's exactly what I pressed Reggie on in the last episode. Because one thing you have to understand about a narcissist is this. They live for tearing people down. That's their fuel. Their way of propping themselves up when everything else is crumbling. That's the core of what we're dealing with right now. Like I've said before, it's narcissism, plain and simple.
I know people like
But this isn't just about one man's ego.
For real.
No, this comes from the top, the highest of the highs. It's a spirit that's been dropped onto this land, a poison that trickles down and infects everyone it touches. So I'm not going to let people forget it. No matter who we're talking about, no matter what names get mentioned, the root of the problem is above us. And it's raining down on everybody.
But back to the positive side of it. I hope they don't have AIDS.
What's up?
I know I don't. Then you gotta remember too, a lot of the guys, I say this all the time, I just don't know why I gotta give to my Cat Williams voice. I can't believe it. I don't know why all the little bitty short dudes got it in for me. You know, when you get people who like 5'4", 5'5", you know, I know life gotta be rough. If you get a bad bitch, she can't even wear heels, she gotta wear flats. And when you add that's even a worse situation. You add to the fact that
You're watching a toothbrush play Billie Eilish. But did you know that there's a...
Shit. That is not a choice. A backwards man, though. That's another situation. But more importantly is this. We all be better off as so-called friends and enjoying life than trying to pick fights and make enemies. I did all what I'm supposed to do. I don't need to argue with nobody. I don't need to fight with nobody. Oh, but I can't fight.
I ain't gonna lie though. This is crazy though. Suge Knight been in jail, I think he said for 11 years now. I think he said 11 years. But, bro, like, he handling his time pretty damn good to me. Look like shit.
Yeah.
He sound like he ain't crying and oh, I wanna go home and all this nigga. He in there telling G stories and shit. Like that's crazy though.
They ever play football or sports. Some people is too short to play basketball.
Greece. What's up? You from
Greece?
Greece?
To be a jock.
Damn.
Right now, Simon's lining himself up against Reggie, and the way he's doing it is pure backhanded shade. He's saying God made him big, strong, tall enough to play any sport. But then he pivots, saying if you're 5 feet 4 inches, you're too short for basketball. And if you're too heavy, you can't be a horse jockey. Make no mistake, he's talking about Reggie,
Damn.
And if they gonna
Talking
be a
about
boxer,
Reggie,
being 5'4" or whatever, you can't box Mayweather because you're too fucking fat. Way too much. And you can't. Let me wait back to look. If they're only kill somebody because you're too short. Some people got little arms. Little, whatever, they arms like turtles. I know some motherfuckers got to change diapers, but some motherfuckers don't.
I can't say if there's any truth to it, but Simon keeps circling back to this diaper talk when it comes to Reggie. He's claimed more than once that wearing a diaper is mandatory. Whether it's fact or fiction, he repeats it like it's part of the storyline. Another jab slipped into the mix. With these two, it's never just about the words. It's about planting an image that sticks.
And they arms so short, I don't know how they went their ass. I just don't get it. But besides that,
this man said his arms so short, I don't know how he wipe his ass. Come on, dog.
Everything's a good day. Because every day is a blessing.
They got some shit called How Fat Joe a Legacy of Lies. Like, damn. They said Fat Joe's lying, y'all. Let's see what this is about.
Hey, what up, Shug? This Deuce Hams, man, LA Brim. Salute. We run the Down Keyway Conversation podcast. Oh, man, I hope you hold happy there, man.
Hey, you know everything's a blessing? Shit. That's how that shit goes.
Everything a blessing. Everything a blessing.
Gotta take the bad with the good, you know? Take the good with the bad.
Hey, I always say, but motherfuckers know what you sign up for, so you can't complain about, you know? Shit.
I heard the fuck out of that. We running a campaign against confidential source 2 back, aka Black 100, right? And it's a new repo on Ray J and Wack. They name your name in there, even though I know you don't fuck with suckers like that no more, right? They also got Reggie like, huh?
Well, my name is though.
And I think as just an associate of some of the people in there, they got Ray J, they got Miss Norwood, his mama. They're talking about Whitney Houston death. Wack 100 admit that he was smoking crack and doing cocaine in a room with Ray J when Whitney died. They turned it from LA Superior for civil RICO, and now the feds can pick up the federal investigation of RICO. Wack is supposed to be
we gotta run that back.
The manpower, right? He's supposed to.
We gotta run that shit. We gotta run that back.
In there, even though I know you don't fuck with suckers like that no more, right? They also got Reggie like, huh?
Well, my name is though.
And I think as just an associate of some of the people in there, they got Ray J, they got Miss Norwood, his mama. They're talking. They turned it from a LA Superior Court civil, and now the feds can pick up the federal investigation of RICO. Wack is supposed to be the manpower, right? He's supposed to be the protector and manpower of Ray J and her mom in these allegations. But I didn't ever know that Wack was using drugs, man. You know what I'm saying? But they got him on some kind of yeah. No, Wack admitted.
Wack on drugs?
Got it! Got it!
Yeah, Wack admits that he was using drugs. He did a deposition. Now he trying to play like he don't know
the motherfucker. Go ahead, use shit, because he said he didn't drink or do drugs.
He did a deposition and he stated that he was getting high. Well, Whitney Houston, of all people,
well, maybe if they locked him up, he had drugs on him. He might have been selling the drugs. He might have said he was using them. Some people do that when they get locked up.
I remember
so
that.
They won't get.
Yeah, but Whitney was the homegirl, you know? At the end of the day,
Because if you got a little bit of weed on you, nigga, that's your personal, nigga. The police gonna like you. Well, depending on where you at. Because if you're in Atlanta, they ain't gonna do nothing to you. Like, you got a little bit of weed. They'll probably give you a ticket if they even see you with weed. But who the fuck looking for weed, bro? Police got better shit to do in Atlanta, bro. There's niggas getting killed out here, bro.
For real stories, there's motherfuckers shit that said shit up there too. So much little dude, out my line shit. That's one of the reasons why motherfuckers stop fucking with the little nigga. You know? Yeah, time. Everybody gotta be accountable for their actions, you know? You know what I mean? Nobody around this motherfucker perfect. I know if it's something I did, I should have did, I don't have a problem with it. You know what I mean? But everybody want to act like they're white fish in the water, clean as a motherfucker. But you know, at the end of the day, me personally, I think it should be more about dealing with culture where you get something to make it better. And the motherfuckers who don't want to participate to make things better, are they too fucked up to participate to make it better? They need to get out of the way. Because if you look at a thing, a situation where, I don't know the motherfucker. He was I guess a flag man. I've been here, I've been this motherfucker for 10 years. But however the situation is, he got on the show.
It's crazy. He been in jail for 10 years, bro. And that is really kind of right because like right before the Death Row movie came out, and the Death Row movie been out for like 10 years now, I think. It came out like 2016, 15 or 16.
I feel bad. Right? Yeah. Like you're greedy about it. Right?
This is Buick. Now. Buick.
Right. And it was to the fact it was live, we still talking greedy about the man, right? Now, he can't say something about what he believes in the country Jewish community. He can't apologize and has to apologize, right? And he's a deserving Jew, he's not even a United States citizen. He come out here and get black people on this platform and talk bad about people like Derek Kahn and other people.
Voice call and or telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
And refuse to apologize. Or not do it. Right. So at some point, everybody got to stop letting the culture vultures take advantage of our people and they everybody look bad and they don't want to get the money out of it. All these dudes is working for, they workers. They never real about it. And they literally think it's going to somebody else to go like black people. What are you doing? Working for the people. Fucking Eminem can say that just because he's a rapper, he was never from the black nigga bitch. All black women go niggas say. Then you get all these other dudes, you know, they say, oh, he only said that because he was dating a black girl and she broke his heart. Where and when? That never happened. Jimmy, they lower the bar. They lower the standards of what's accepted. Yeah. See, the reason why they do that because they wouldn't be able to do that if people stand up for right. It should be, ain't no way with me. So if another race can have everybody fighting among themselves, see, this is what I'm trying to realize, right? It's like, hey, They go to a meeting, and they bring up another song back in. That person that he just said, oh, fuck him. Eddie Lyons, he's scared of me. I'm the tough one. Who is you? And when? And why are you talking? You know? So, everybody's still fighting among themselves. And don't get me wrong, people say some real disrespectful shit, and there's no coming back from that. But you don't reward them and act like they're somebody. They lying or they doing some bullshit. But anytime you look at it, they go and give these other people platforms, and they care nothing about the culture. They care nothing about the culture.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Before you get off, right?
Everybody ask you anything. Yeah.
Before you get off, I want to ask you about Reggie Wright Jr. He took your ex-wife, to go talk to the feds, and he definitely trying to tear down the culture, man.
I ain't never been first of all, I don't know fuck about no weirdo, but I ain't never been married to no motherfucker about Anytime I was married, they either spoiled the family or 20-something or 2 million, you know. If you do that church, shit, I always let somebody else watch, somebody else get, somebody else get. When we get married, it's like one of my old bitches I talk to inside. What the fuck? Right. I ain't with the weirdo shit. But you know,
Angela telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
that's what I'm saying, right? On some real shit. At the end of the day, right? Well, all these motherfuckers lying and doing all this bullshit, that's just the oldest game in the world. That's just divide and conquer. They trying to do is take strong people and make everybody look like they clowns for the other races, right? You got motherfuckers doing shit and eating off our culture who's not even in the United States.
Who's not from the United States?
Shit, what's the dude that somebody going on? I don't know his name. Glad, whatever that shit is, right? Yeah, that's not America, the United States.
Really?
No, where he was from. Yeah.
Russia.
Oh, yeah, Russian thing, like, what is like?
States or Russian names.
It's like this, right? He from a different country, right?
Yeah, they said Russia.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is, how can everybody call themselves keeping our culture, our people? Anytime you look around,
Every parasites.
and it's different. It's like this. What is a homie who trying to better himself and educate people at the same time and make money? I'm all for it. What if somebody who ain't been through nothing, ain't done nothing, ain't trying to help nobody, or you just doing motherfuckers from other countries or other races? That's some strange shit. You know?
Yeah.
When anyone of us on this phone, when somebody do something well and get some bread, that's every family. You know what I mean? Because real motherfuckers come, now we look up for their kids, they look up for their nieces, look up for their mamas, look up for their homies, you know what I mean? That's building stuff up. But when you get a person who's trying to do something that's capitalized and they have to nobody, that's some bullshit. We let these people have a platform and like they networking for people in the ghetto to help them, but they not. And half the motherfuckers who spread these rumors, spread these lies, they ain't showing up nowhere. They're not gonna show up. I sit in the room with any motherfucker have any kind of conversation. But the whole movement is bigger than just us. The whole movement is for all our culture. I put something on one of the other platforms last week or a couple of weeks ago, I said, well, how is it that black people only make 5% of Los Angeles County, but we 34% of the homeless?
Damn.
Why do we only make 5% of Los Angeles County, but we 34% of the homeless?
Had to be designed
Good question.
to set up a structure like that.
Anytime you have, you go into this, you know, really like I tell athletes, entertainers, we should be making awareness of this and raise some kind of money to help our people. They should learn to keep them jobs. So sometimes you gotta ask all these dudes from top of the road. You ask, who have you ever done something for? You know what I mean? And he asked me that one question. Who have you done something for? Who have you done something for in your neighborhood? Who have you done something in your mind? Who have you done something for, period? They can't tell you nobody.
YouTube Premium is ad-free YouTube and ad-free videos on the YouTube Kids app, so kids can
Well, we calling to ask you to tell you, make sure you was aware of the campaign we running right now. We were. But tell me about it, bro. We was doing a campaign, you know, and then, you know, the campaign we run on this weirdo on Ray J motherfucking ass. Probably, tell me about that. Probably, I didn't know your name was in there. What the hell did you get you?
Right. I was like, most people send it to me. Even Twitter, she's like, why is your name in that? And I'm reading it, it says Holly Knight. I said, what you, they ain't talking about me, too.
So what is this talking about?
He ready to underlie himself.
Oh my God!
I haven't read his deposition yet, just his mother's and Cass Jones' deposition. But he's implicated, he's the head of it, it's Praytronics, right? I guess that's a company that he has started. They tried to muscle the Mountaineer up out of his percentage of the company at the end. I guess Wack wanted percentage. He was getting said, I ain't giving a crap for 1% of this company. Put a pistol in his mouth, had some police beat the white boy up, trying to force him on medication. And he filed for the lawsuit initially, the civil lawsuit. They settled on that. But they didn't want to give him all of the discovery.
Damn, son.
It exposes that the feds and these quicken police that they allow Wack to do extortion, intimidation, threats, and violence as a motor operandi for their business. So the feds picked up the investigation, and that's where it's at right now.
Hey, bro. They got one Wack homegirl, right? One Wack homegirl is an on-duty cop. And she and somebody else went and picked up the white boy for Wack. And the wife was claiming that she was working for Wack while she was on duty. And he got her, he went on her Facebook with her throwing Wack hood. Gang time. Go ahead and finish that part, dude.
And then she took it down as soon as they filed and mentioned it in the case. She took the post down, but she was throwing up the phone, right? And mind you, she's a police officer. And then he threatened the dude and told him, I don't gotta kill you. People that's gonna do that just because they feel it should be done. If I'm telling that's what needs to be done. So conspiracy to murder, it's extortion, and this is similar to the case he got caught up with on the main streets, right? With Del Dog and Stutterbob and Mark Stevens and Shaquille O'Neal. So he was on wiretap running for Stutterbox, telling Mark Stevens and Shaq that Stutterbox got to tape of Shaq fucking a woman that wasn't his wife, and that TMZ would pay a lot of money for it. You know what I'm saying? Mark Stevens made a statement against him and said that he's the one that came to him, and Stutterbox had flipped, and he said that he's the one that sent Cass Jones to go pass that message to Mark Stevens and Shaq.
That's crazy.
And cooperate against David Kenner.
We wanted some more of this shit on.
David told me.
And then we're gonna go back.
Welcome back to Scandalous Los Angeles TV, where we expose the exposers. In part 1, we explored the FBI's new iteration of its counterintelligence program, COINTELPRO, now repackaged under the black identity extremist stigma. We uncovered how the powers that be have sought to prevent the rise of a black messiah, going to extreme lengths to track and control every movement in the black community. Not only did we examine these covert tactics to suppress black empowerment, but we also pinpointed the reasons behind the surveillance and targeting. Today, we're shifting gears to discuss the godfather of CS Tubac's COINTEL cabal. This mystery man is the only one you've ever heard of, who can be both a suspect and an informant, infiltrate, discredit, and/or neutralize potential threats.
Reggie Jr. was a police officer. I believe he'll talk about his past, but he started off in the jail, then worked also in Compton. But Reggie Jr., he ended up, and I don't want to tell this story for him, but he ended up having an injury and retiring from the police department. And as you know, he's got a business mind, so he started his security company. And growing up with some very high-profile people like Suge Knight and in that Compton area, he was able to, along the way, connect with them and be the head of security, which is a pretty damn big deal for Death Row Records, and was with them for a period of time, and very well-known guy. I want to give a shout out to his platform, which is Bomb First. He has his t-shirt on right now, and we do have some giveaways later in the day that Gina's going to be in charge of. But if you're not familiar with Bomb First, if you go to YouTube, take a look at it. He's got a very powerful platform. And if you want to know the truth about anything, Reggie Jr. is that guy. And when you see him on his YouTube channel, if you follow him like I do, whenever he's leaning into the camera, click on that video because it'll be something good.
Reggie Wright Jr. became an invaluable asset to those in power, using his position to manipulate and control from behind the scenes, furthering agendas that sought to destroy black success and empowerment. These informants, who gained notoriety only through their connection to Marion Knight, are now fighting to maintain their covert roles, continuing to work behind the scenes while telling stories about Death Row Records. DJ Vladimir Lyubovny makes his federal futon fluffy for these informants as they lie and implicate others in murders to cover up the murders of Tupac Shakur and Christopher Wallace.
So when you hear the theory that Poochie was the shooter, what is your take on it?
Brian Hollis.
I had a talk with Greg Kading about this, but I have my notes. So according to Greg Kading, Poochie killed Biggie. That's the story I believe. And Poochie was an associate of Suge. Whatever the story is, the greatest question is what I believe.
This is what you do, man. So, Suge killed people. I heard y'all, you ain't read, John. That's why y'all feel y'all just y'all Yeah, for sure to get out, huh? You niggas is cold niggas. Reggie right, your ass at that dollar, nigga. Corona. And you still fucking nigga. Boy, you gonna let you for that bunch though.
There's a reason Chevy is called the heartbeat of America. It's in the pulse of those who never stop getting the job.
So you just heard Reggie and Mob James go on Vlad TV and place the murder of Biggie on Marion Knight. K9 from Swans responded in disbelief, expressing his distaste for the lie snitching that he heard them both do. Because Reggie was upset with K9 for his statements, he decided to go on Clubhouse and lie on him in pure Cointel fashion. Before I play the Cointel Clubhouse recording, I want to read what Reggie said about Shug in this article.
I wasn't under the impression about him being an informant. I just know he has rat things in him. The two things that come to mind when I hear Lloyd speak on those issues is that I know he did do this or can do this. The one thing is when he was doing his time in jail for the probation violation on the state side, he knew he had a 6 months tail on the federal side, and he actually reached out to the U.S. attorney that was handling the matter for his 6 month probation violation and said, y'all been trying to get me to cooperate on David Kenner. I'm willing to do that now because I don't want to go 6 months. I'm ready to get out of here. He had me call the U.S. attorney. I did. The U.S. attorney advised me that I can't talk to you, Reggie. You're not his attorney of record. I would have to hear from his attorney, which at the time, the attorney handling the federal matter was David Chesnoff out of Las Vegas. So I called David Chesnoff and told him Shug wanted to do the 6 months and cooperate against David Kenner. David Chesnoff told me, I represent tough guys from the mafia. One thing I don't do is represent rats that would do any type of telling. So he tells Shug if that's what he wants to do, that he needs to remove me or I'll remove myself as his attorney of record.
So you see how Reggie went on allhiphop.com and used the attorney David Chesnoff's name to attach rat allegations on Shug. Now listen to him and his protege CS2 Back work together in an attempt to discredit and slander K-Nina using the same lie.
Bring Reggie right up, dog. Bring Reggie right. You don't expose the nigga K9's a rat, dog. Reggie White is a nigga that ran death row, cut all the checks, all the attorneys. Bring Reggie right up. Red, you don't say it. Now, Red, I'm keeping 100, Red. Cause I know this nigga K9, bro.
All right, so mute the mic for Red. Mute the mic for him. Nobody else should be talking to
Hey, Red, do I know this nigga K9, bro?
Let me tell the story on K9. Let me just tell the history. Number one, K9 was brought in by me. K9, to my knowledge, ain't never met Suge Knight in life. Why is he telling that? I don't know. K9 was with our homie Keita Rock is the one that really spoke up. He spoke up for K9 and Keita Rock like K9, and he had me sign K9. I'm the one that put K9 on the one song with Death Row he was on. I mean, K9 was a cool dude when he was with me. He just a lengthy, kind of, mild and over.
Red, do I know this nigga, Red? You know what I know this nigga.
Hey, only time that I ever know Wacky K9 be around was when we had a little incident at the Flying Museum in Santa Monica when Wacky
He was with my clique against one of the niggas in Oxford.
Exactly. He was him but K9 was with us, and it was a bunch of dudes with 2Ds. Of course, the mob dudes and all that. K9 was with us, one of his big homeboys.
K9, why this nigga keep insinuating that I know this nigga, Red? We didn't talk to them little niggas, bro.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with why K9 is speaking on Wack like that, like they know each other, because to my knowledge, around Death Row, they didn't have no relationship like that because K9 was only around about a year. Like I said, K9 was gone by the time Suge came home.
Suge came home. Now, what about this nigga when you hired the attorney, bro, when he called me taking Vegas?
Now, this is why K9, he said that he left because of a big grill that got killed in front of Montreal. That ain't why K9 left. K9 was going prior to that. K9 left because he caught a case or had a case. Suge went to look out, told me to hire an attorney,
the big time powerful attorney named David Chuznoff from Vegas. That's the nigga represent the mob. I know it. He one of the best attorneys ever. Y'all look up David Chuznoff in Vegas. Anybody from Nevada, Vegas know who he is. We sent him down there to represent the talk to K9. We was gonna pay for him to represent K9. We put some money. Well, of course we had David on retainer. He came back and called me. He said, Rich, he said, I know that's one of y'all artists, but you know I'm a mafia attorney. And one thing I can't ever in life represent is a fucking rap. And he said, that dude is trying to be an informant, and I can't represent him. I don't care how much money y'all give me. That's when I went back and reported that shit. So, man, what you got me involved with? Get him.
Hey, man, hey. Y'all came in a Common Cafe. I want y'all to like, subscribe, share, definitely a notification. Peace. I'll probably be back with a live and some shorts in a little bit. Peace, someone.